Hello everyone, we're about to play our first match in a Kaladesh draft. We would like to play first. Well, it's not the best hand, mostly because we have 5 lands and a 1-drop and a 2-drop. I could think about keeping it. It's not the worst. I mean, I have a creature with evasion and equipment. But it's definitely the kind of hand where even just drawing 2 lands in a row at some point is going to be pretty obnoxious. So I think I'm going to mulligan. Yeah, this one's better for sure. We'll keep it. And we're going to get a 3rd land one way or another, and we can already play everything in our hand anyway, so I think I'm just going to try to draw another spell. But yeah, turn 2 grubs when you're on the play is actually pretty nice. And then we go Gremlins, Weld Fast Monitor. So, yeah, see, we got the land anyway, so. Just play the grubs. He may play a 2-drop who can block it. That's sort of the downside about Thriving Grubs, but it doesn't look like he's going to. And see, we still got another one. So we will bash and pay the energy. And we'll play our Gremlins. Glad I scried that one land to the bottom, since we've drawn 2 in a row. Okay, Foundry Screecher. I think I probably just play Weld Fast Monitor and attack with Salivating Gremlins. Yeah. I don't really want to trade my grubs for that, although it's not a terrible trade. I think this is better, though. Maybe once I attack with the Weld Fast Monitor with Menace, I'll like it a little more. Black-blue. If we played Apala, she probably dies, but she's actually not that good in our deck. So, I mean, she's still a 3-mana 3/3, who has a tiny chance to draw us a card and will make our one vehicle a little bit bigger. But, you know, that's certainly not exciting. Okay. Well, neither is that for us. I'm going to give this Menace, and I'm just going to attack with it because he has to double block to kill it. And we can still kill both of those creatures, so... Alright, getting in for 3 works for me. I think now we do play Depala. We end our turn. We would like some removal here to just help us get there. Fireweaver's going to help us do some damage to our opponent, most likely. We definitely wouldn't mind drawing an artifact right now, either. So Tidy Conclusion may just be about to hit Depala, but if that's how my opponent spends his turn, I don't feel that bad about it, given our board state. Well, Malthus Squad's better, of course. It will allow him to block my Weld Fist Monitor more profitably. Should probably go with 2 bodies because, well, yeah, no, you should go with 2 bodies so you can kill my Weld Fast Monitor, basically, yeah. That's... Ooh, Renegade Freighter. How about that? Well, we're going to go Reckless Fireweaver. Renegade Freighter. Ping our opponent for 1. And I think we attack with our 4/3 Gremlins. He can, of course, block in a multitude of ways, but like just trading or whatever, but we probably get in for some damage. It could also be worth it to attack with Thriving Grubs. His servo can't trade with it. And that's true of Weld Fast Monitor as well. So... Wish I had more energy right now, or Eddie Trailhawk to throw something in the sky. We probably do just attack with everything here. It puts our opponent in a pretty bad place. He can, of course, play an artifact and get that back, but there's no way he can really block super effectively here. It would have been nice to also be able to give this Menace, but it's not a huge deal. So we trample over for 2, if that's how our opponent blocks. And we kill all of those creatures. Seems good. Opponent goes to 7. And we end our turn. We also lose our 3 creatures as well, but... So this is going to be a 6/5 with trample when we crew it. Well, that can't block, so that's good for me. Okay, well, our opponent is definitely in trouble now. Ooh, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so we're going to play the Pioneer to drop our opponent to 6. Because we're going to get a servo. And then we're going to crew Renegade Freighter. I'm actually going to attack with my Fireweaver here because it's actually a good attack right now. Our opponent may have the blue card that'll bounce something here, but we're still going to get in for some damage. And that also means, yeah, so we got there. So aggro for the win there. Worked out. Ruinous Gremlin didn't seem super interesting. We basically just saw servos. Fireforge's Puzzle Knot is worth considering when you see Malthus squad and Fretwork Colony. Yeah, I mean, you have to get it at the right time, but I think we probably want it. It's pretty good in this matchup. But what do we cut? I don't think we cut one of my goggles. Or a Wispweaver who can help us if we get in a board stall to find us a way to win. I don't really want to cut anything is the problem. None of these cards are bad in this particular matchup. Yeah, so never mind. Pyrohelix is just better. We don't have a second one, right? No. So if I had a second one, I probably would cut something for it in this matchup, but we don't. We just have the one. So let's just curve out again, and, well, it's not quite a curve out, but I'll take it. Lots of removal this time, actually. Did we get any last time? We didn't. We just turned all our guys sideways. 2-drop. Aww. I would have appreciated a 2-drop. But Weldfast Monitor and Amalthus Doorbuster isn't the worst thing, because they obviously sort of synergize well together. Pillarbug. Well, that's obnoxious. I'm going to play my Monitor. Pillarbugs are way better than they looked like they would be, I think. I think they may be after... Well, they might just be the best. Ooh, that's some bad news for us. Probably going to have to take a turn off just to kill the Chief of the Foundry with Welding Sparks. Opponent goes to 23. We go to 17. So... Well... We can offer a trade first. I don't hate that plan. I could also just set it up so I kill this and block that, and I mean, it's a 2-for-2. It's nothing exciting. But I think holding on to my Weldfast Monitor is probably marginally better, so... Yeah, I'm just going to cast Welding Sparks now on Chief of the Foundry. This makes me wish I'd sided in Ruinous Gremlins, incidentally. And we'll just attack. It's not going to do us a whole lot of good because our opponent can just gain the life back, but that's okay. I'd probably attack, yeah. I mean, when your creature has lifelink, well, I didn't want to use it there, but if your creature has lifelink, it gets to be pretty profitable to attack. Double Pillarbug, really? My creatures are terrible against Pillarbugs right now, too. My creature is terrible against Pillarbugs. Can't block them. Or anything. Yeah, we need to draw some more spells here. We're on 4 so far. Guess our opponent doesn't have a ton either. We'll just take it. We can obviously find a way out of this. There's lots of cards we could draw that would be helpful. Big creatures, like our Wispweaver, for example, would be nice. Oh, God. Just killing everything. Am I going to have to cast a Revoke Privileges? Okay, well, that's a big creature. Would have been nice to have my Malphus Doorbuster in play, but we'll just play this Angel. And maybe it'll stop my opponent from attacking me. Uh-oh. Okay, well, still not great for us, but it's not removal. And we'll end a turn. We still do have Revoke Privileges to deal with something big enough to concern us. I'm glad we killed that Chief, though. Double 3/4s with lifelink would have been a joy. We'd be even farther behind. Okay, play your own flyer. More lifelink. Wow, all the flyers. Less than ideal for us. Okay. We probably put Revoke Privileges on something, but the question is, what? I may just hold on to it for now. I mean, if I put it on the Screecher, that's not too bad. Might be better to put it on the Marauder, though, with its lifelink. It's just hard to say. Like, none of his attacks are great, but I'm at low enough life that he can basically attack with everything. I can kill one creature and still lose enough life that it's pretty relevant. So I feel like I should Revoke Privileges something. I guess these can't block... Nothing can block Thriving Grubs once I swing with it, actually. So that's what's bad. Like, there's not a great Revoke Privileges target here. But I'll put it on Foundry Screecher. Makes it less likely that my opponent attacks, anyway. We do have a couple things of energy. Couple energy triggers, but it's probably not going to matter. Our opponent got the aggro start this time around. I think I probably do bring in Ruinous Gremlin for something because Pillar Bugs and Chief of the Foundries are enough of a concern that I'd like to be able to kill them. In addition to having a 1-drop that's, you know, going to do a little bit of damage if we play it on turn 1. What did our opponent draw? Well, we're about to find out. Yeah, I mean, he could have a trick, which is obviously really bad for us here. But I'm going to block the flyer and take 4. Okay, no trick, so that's good. Just got to eat a creature. Could have another die young or something. No, just Contraband Kingpin. Ugh. I think I attack with the Grubs just so it can trade later. He can, of course, just block with his Kingpin, but he can't get in for lethal exactly. And being able to make this able to trade is pretty relevant. So I'm going to do that. He can attack as a 4/3 next time, too, which, again, probably won't come up, but it could happen. Too bad I don't have my trick here. That would feel pretty good. I think we probably do kill the Kingpin here. Our opponent got all the lifelink this game. It's pretty good against us as an aggro deck. We didn't see any of it in game 1. We'll probably see somewhere in the middle in the next game we'll get some lifelink and not all of it. So, no attacks. Awesome. Not so awesome. Well, I think I just passed my turn. We could attack. He doesn't have great blocks, but he has okay blocks, and I'm just happy I can trade with a Pillar Bug now if I have to. Meantime, I'm just going to hold on to all these lands and make it seem like I can actually do something with my hand. Opponent's drawn 4 extra cards in this game, so we've done a pretty good job of actually still being alive, all things considered. Okay, another thing that can trade. Don't hate it. If he draws a kill spell from my Angel, we're in some trouble here. That's for certain. It's going to be hard in general to win this game. The way our deck's constructed, like, we don't want to get to this stage. This will help, though. So there's that. He doesn't have a flyer right now. Also gives us some more energy, and we still have a bunch of energy. So we can potentially start attacking with Eddy Trail and Trusty Companion to try to kill my opponent. Might even be better to just attack with Thriving Grubs, but the Trusty Companion can also block if that's what I really need, and it seems like something I could end up needing, given the board state, so... Metallurgic Summonings. That's not great news. The good news is, well, he has Die Young in his sideboard, actually, so that can kill some of our stuff if he just decides to do the 5 mana thing, which might just be what he's going to do. Return Live Fast, 2 Die Youngs, and a Glimmer of Genius. That seems pretty good, right? So we should be prepared for that. I can make this a 4-3, though, and maybe that's worth it. Makes it so it won't die to Die Young. Well, not without him, like, pumping all the energy into it, or more energy into it. But I'd probably just do this. Get in for 4. End our turn. Yeah, our opponent... Oh, he doesn't have enough artifacts to use that, does he? No. So, I always think it can just always do it. He needs to have 6 or more artifacts, and he's at 2. So, that's good for us. These two work well together, though, because you get an artifact token, and then you scry, try to find another spell, get an artifact token. So, yeah. Not awesome for us. Once our opponent gets to enough artifacts, especially. May have drawn a kill spell, given how much thinking's going on right now. Tidy Conclusion on Wispweaver Angel, maybe? Which would also give him a 5/5 token, it's worth noting. So, none of that's good news for us. Yeah, we don't really, like I said, this deck does not really want to get to this part of the game. We want to kill our opponent early. Our opponent with the early Die Youngs and all the life gain made that pretty difficult, though. Kind of makes me want to sideboard into a more mid-rangey deck, but we don't really have a sideboard for that. If he attacks, he's probably got combat tricks. Come on, Magic Online. How many times I gotta click OK? There you go. Oh. I mean, I feel pretty okay just blocking this and letting him put a counter somewhere. So that's what I'm gonna do. Counters don't concern me a whole lot right now. Magic Online being laggy. So, I mean, he can make one of these a 3/4. He can make that a 2/5. Sure. That's a thing. All right. Ugh. Well, doing what we did last time, which is attacking with both of these. Yeah. I think saving the energy for Eddy Trailhawk seems better right now anyway, because it's sort of how we're going to try to win this thing. We'll play land, why not? 5 lands in a row, is that what we're looking at? I think it is. Amazing we're still in this thing. Okay. Well, I think I'm okay just taking 4 and killing one of these pillar bugs. He's going to gain a bunch of life, of course, but I don't feel too terrible about that. Hello, Inventor's Goggles. That's awesome. It's going to go nice on that Trusty Companion. Makes it capable of blocking, and it'll just do more damage in the skies, too. We are running out of energy, so that's worth keeping in mind. We wouldn't mind getting some more of that. But Trusty Companion's now just really big, too. We can potentially just start swinging with Wispeaver Angel, too. Now that we have a 4/4 Trusty Companion who can do the same thing, which is block. Oval Chase. He's down to 1 artifact now, which is good for us. With Metallurgic Summonings is in play. Awesome. Okay. Well, now we're doing some work here. Yeah, I think we do what we've been doing. And then I play another flyer. And we just start trying to win this in the sky before our opponent can kill us. We are out of energy now, but we're going to have 8 damage in the sky. Because I'm going to go with the +1/+1 counter here. Oh, I can also move this for free. I don't think I do. Because having a 2/4/4 blockers is better right now. Well, this will be a 4/4 too, won't it? 3/2. Yeah, it'll also be a 4/4, and it flies, so I guess I'll just move it for free. And in my turn. So yeah, we have 9 damage in the air. That's good. We also have sort of insurance against if our opponent draws a removal spell. Life gain. That seems unnecessary. How much life has our opponent gained? Seems like a lot. He doesn't have green mana for that, so that part's nice. He does have a ton of energy, but Dai Young's the only payoff we've seen for that, so. If he attacks with Oval Chase, I'd probably just block with Trusty Companion. At this point, I think the Grubs is just going to be a little better for us. Yeah. Dapala, okay. So I think I attack for 5 with Eddy Trailhawk and Propeller Pioneer. We still have to be a little bit cautious because our opponent has us at such low life and he's at so much. But I think we crack in here for the 5. I was saying our deck didn't really have a way to win in the late game, but I guess playing a bunch of flyers is a way to win. So if we draw something that has energy, we can just win this next turn, theoretically. The bad news is if we attack with ground creatures, our opponent can gain life 2 different ways. So we don't really want to be doing that. So like an Alpha Strike is going to take a lot longer to get to, so it's probably just going to be better to just kill our opponent in the air. He could attack just for the lifelink, which may be what he's going to do, and I would be okay with that. Ooh, there's a tidy conclusion. So that gives our opponent 2 life, because I haven't gained enough so far. And he also gets a 5/5. So we knew that was a possibility eventually, and now we're looking at it. All right. We're drawing so well here. So we're going to put our goggles on something. I think I put it on the Eddy Trailhawk and then move it to my Wispeaver Angel. So just attack in the sky for 2 now. Our opponent has definitely slowed our roll, but we can actually block this thing because our Angel is going to become so big. And we'll end our turn. The amount of life gain our opponent has done has been kind of outrageous. Ooh, that's bad. That is bad, bad. Our opponent's suddenly getting there with that metallurgic summoning. They are down to 9 cards, so maybe we just try to survive? I don't know. Gonna be hard, though, with the army my opponent is forming over there. Yeah, that's a problem when you're at 3 life, looking at a menace creature. And now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts, so he's not too far away from getting everything back from his graveyard. Interesting. Well, we'll turn off removal. But he can now block my 2/4 Eddy Trailhawk. I do think we put it on something. Probably one of the big tokens. Actually, maybe Malphus Squad's the answer, because that menace is kind of a problem. Yeah, we'll do that. Turn off his removal in the meantime. Still can't quite go wide enough on us to kill us, so we have that going for us. Yeah, we got nothing. What could we draw that would be helpful right now? Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to do some trading and chumping here if we want to survive. And hoping that our opponent doesn't have removal. Come on, Magic Online. So we're going to block one of these. We're going to block this. Now what do we do? That's a good question. So, could double block? No, we can't. We can't double block any of these things. They'll just kill us. So, we got to give up Eddy Trailhawk. We can not block that, actually, so we can double block something. So maybe I do double block here. And just single block there. We hold on to Depala and Wispweaver Angel if things go the way we want them to here, so that's not too bad. We go to 1. And our opponent gains a bunch more life. Wait, why did Depala die? Oh, she didn't. She just moved. Yeah, like I said, the long game is not good for us here. We did not want to end up in a long game, and all of our opponent's life gain is destroying us. Like, I'm sure we've done 20 damage in this game, you know? We just haven't received credit for it. Well, we have a way to live another turn, hopefully. Syndicate Trafficker is kind of a problem, obviously, but... Okay, we could Pyro Helix in response, make him sack another artifact, but that doesn't really seem worth it. No, it doesn't. Well, something to Pyro Helix. Okay. Probably just have to Pyro Helix Oval Chase Dragster, though. So, we're going to block here. Going to block here. And then we'll Pyro Helix the Dragster. Does that kill it? It does. Depala's gone, but we do kill that. But our opponent is slowly winning this war of attrition here. We need something with Fabricate. Actually, we're still not dead, so that's pretty nice. Player Fireweaver. Oh, he gets the goggles for free, but we don't want to do that. We need our 5/6. Opponent all out of artifacts, so no metallurgic summonings, recursion of spells at least. Opponent down to 6 cards. If we can just keep drawing ways to survive and our opponent just has lands left in his library, which is possible. He's only got 12. None in his graveyard, 2 cards in his hand. So, all right. I mean, we've drawn 14 of our 17 lands with 12 cards left, so that's pretty brutal. Gotta say. Yeah, here comes this thing. God, my opponent has so much energy. It's good with those Die Youngs, but I haven't seen much else to do with it. So we have to draw a blocker now. Do not give me my 15th land. Ha-ha! That is what we wanted. We'll play our Pioneer. We're going to go for a Servo because at this point we're just trying to survive. So, do we Goggles? It'll make you a 3/4. No, probably not. No, we don't. Servo. Do some damage. I would be curious to see how much damage I've actually done to my opponent in this game. Doesn't seem like we've done much, but we've actually done a lot. So, okay. We know we have a lot of spells left in our library. I mean, that's kind of the strange upside of drawing all these lands, is we have a very high chance of drawing spells now. We have 2 lands left and 11 cards, so that's really good right now for our opponent. Gives them a creature just because they cast a spell, and then they get, so even though we have a great chance to draw a spell, I think our opponent's going to go wide enough here to finally kill us. Ooh. Yeah, make that a 5/5. Yeah, that's still not big enough for Whisperer Angel, actually, so it doesn't really matter, though. There's just so many creatures now. We'll play our Monitor. And we'll end our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. We only have 5 blockers, so yeah, 1 damage gets through one way or another. 2 very different games so far. One very fast one, and this grindy one, which we kind of looked like we were in for a while, and then our opponent gained 1,000,000 life. So we are done. Yeah. If we hadn't drawn so many lands late, we had somewhat of a chance there, I think. Okay, Ruinous Gremlin probably comes in now that we've seen what we've seen. Pyrohelix seems good. That might be something I would consider cutting in most situations. Capture by the Consulate seems good too. Our opponent has a lot of removal. I have to cut something though. So what card is like our least good? Is it like Salivating Gremlins? Might be in our not super artifact heavy deck. Could also be Reckless Fireweaver. Yeah, it probably is the Fireweaver. It does take away a 2-drop, but we added a 1, so kind of works. Built to Last will be good if we get an aggressive start, but in that last game it wouldn't have been great, although giving an artifact creature indestructible, I guess, would have been nice. But yeah, I think we leave it. Okay. Got to draw red for this to work out for us, so I think we got a mulligan. Oh, God. So, again, we got to draw land for this to work out. I think I'm going to keep it and prey on my scry here. All right, that works. I would have rather had white, but I can still play turn 2 Thriving Grubs and get rolling that way like we did in game 1. And we actually have turn 3 Thriving Grubs, which means we can make this a 4/3 pretty quickly if our opponent doesn't play a blocker here. Yeah, well, he didn't. So we have lots of cards that make that bad. Well, not lots, but I guess 3 is what I mean. I probably play the Gremlins next. And then the other grubs next turn when I want more energy. Gremlins can also block Fretwork Colony for a turn. Pillar Bug. Okay. So I think we play another Thriving Grubs. I think we equip Inventor's Goggles to our Thriving Grubs that we're going to attack with, and we attack and make it a 5/5. Opponent does have life gain online again, unfortunately for us. Goes to 10, though, and we can play Eddy Trailhawk and start attacking in the sky. Well, that's obnoxious, just as it was last game. We can double block and hold on to one of these, so I think we try to kill the Pillar Bug here. We don't want to deal with life gain. Yeah, so we won't. I mean, he does gain some life, but not enough to concern me. Another pair of goggles. Do I play Eddy Trailhawk and use the energy to pump this to a 3/2 or this to a 6/6? I don't think so. I think we want to actually attack in the air with our Eddy Trailhawk. So we'll just attack with our 5/5. Opponent goes to 8. Then we play Eddy Trail. Trying to decide if it's worth bluffing and holding this in my hand. But probably not. Like if we draw another spell, we're going to want to, like another cheap spell, we'll want to be able to equip those goggles to something. Opponent goes to 7. We can actually just win in the air this turn if our opponent doesn't gain life. So we move the goggles to Eddy Trailhawk and swing for 7. Or he can kill one of our creatures too. Playing a flyer also works. It will buy him some time. But if we put the goggles here, that hawk can't, the Foundry's creature can't kill our hawk. So that's good for us. Yeah, I think that's just what we do. Could play our Weld Fast Monitor, of course, but I don't think I want to. So our opponent has to block. Guessing he blocks the big guy and goes to 5. Oh, no. I almost clicked yes there. That's why it's good to read prompts. Yeah. Drops our opponent to 5. And we'll end our turn. Then he goes to 4. Our revoked privileges or captured by the consulate would be pretty hilarious. That's like the worst thing, the best thing from our perspective and worst thing that could happen to a Fretwork Colony. Does he have Tidy Conclusion? If he does, that would be really sad for us. But we still wouldn't be done. We can just move both goggles to our Eddy Trailhawk and start doing that. Okay, we're just going to take that. Okay, so our opponent only has 1 black mana. There's not much that can be done with that. We also have other blockers we can play if we need them, so I think we just attack here for the W. All right. Well, that's the way we want to win quickly. Not the way we've won. Not the way we tried to win our second game. So hopefully we can do a little more fast winning and less grindy long games that we'll eventually lose. So see you in the next match, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.